Hey everybody, welcome back to Coffee
Sometimes Tea
with Jen and
Marcelo.
So we're going to continue our series on credit.
So in this series, it's going to be an extension as each module that we go over, each video that we go over is going to be a build on the previous one. So if you want, you can just go in and watch them all in the wherever the little thing is, and you can set it up in YouTube where it just goes down each module. But for right now, we're going to break them out for you, and we're going to talk about. We talked about how to do the credit. Now we're talking about the anatomy of the credit score, a little bit more deep dive as to what it's all about from between a FICO and Vantage score. We're going to ask ChatGPT to be an expert in this and to find the following, and we're going to see what results it gives us. And if it doesn't give us the right results, then we will go get the answers, put this on pause, and come back. So we'll see what we get. Let's go ahead and find out.
We're using ChatGPT 4, which is the paid version, guys. It's $20 a month, but here we go.
All right, so we did cover this just a little bit, but this is going to be more of a deep dive on the differences. And it is important to know this. So while we're waiting for it to do its thing, I want to see how far down it goes. Very good. We'll scroll back up to the top here. So understanding the anatomy of a credit score. Why? It's your financial health. And when it says financial health, it's not just monetary. It is your overall financial health from your job and what kind of job you'll get. Because if you have a really bad score, you're not making your payments, it looks like you just are not responsible. Some positions that you go for may look at you and say you're a high risk employee. They want to know that they can rely on you. And they're judging you based on your score. Is it fair? No, it's not. It's not fair. And are they allowed to do that? I don't think they should. I don't.
That's life.
But they do. I had an employer who did a credit check on me, and thankfully I was able to figure out what was going on. And during an interview, I knew my score. I knew what was on my report, and I brought it up. Hey, just so you know, if you pull my credit, I have this, 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 and this. And I explained why this happened, and why this happened. Most of them were medical, so obviously common logical sense says, okay, looks like you had some medical stuff going on. Are you better? Yes? Good. Moving along, taking care of it, and get on. But for some people, and we're going to get into this, that risk is risk of job. So you don't get the job. So you don't get to make the money that you want to make. So that means you get high interest rate credit cards because you're struggling. And then you go down that rabbit hole of got the credit, tank the credit, and then you do it again and it's a repeat. And what we're here to say is stop the madness. Let us help you. Join the group. Learn more about this. Learn the whys. And we're going to really go down, again, the anatomy and how this stuff affects you.
Right.
That payment history. So you have basically 100%, right? Score?
Correct.
35%, according to this and the research that's out there. And if I'm wrong, just let us know. You're not going to hurt our feelings, but this is what we understand. 35% is your payment history. That's huge. Then how much you have on those cards is the next biggest. So this is 65% of your score, your payment history, and your utilization. So they say you shouldn't spend more than 10, no more than 30% of your card worth. I got a card for $500. Yeah. I was promised, if you do this, you're going to be guaranteed. How many people have gotten this? You're going to be guaranteed. You're going to be great. You're going to get at least the minimum $10,000 with your scores and your utilization, everything that you have, no problem. Yeah, that was a joke. It was a waste of my time and my money.
Right.
$500. I could have did that by myself. I knew how to do it by myself. But I was working with somebody and they said, do this. They did a map and it was all wrong. And why? And some people in my school group, we call those parrots.
Yep.
And those parrots, we don't want to feed them. Don't give them your money. Don't follow them. If you are, stop following them. That's just my opinion. You might not like it, but that's okay.
No, it's fine.
I'm just putting it out there. These people caused us problems, and we know who you are, and you cause problems for other people, and you don't care. We do, and I'm not going to get into it because I don't want to get all feisty. Call me Red. I don't want to get all feisty, but we'll move on in here. But again, we want to help you, safeguard you, right? Payment history, got your utilization. So back to the card. You get a $500 card. My 10% utilization is $50. That is not even enough to fill up my car with gas prices these days. That's not even a full tank. And my car's not that big. You know, it's not that big.
Right.
Food, not even you want to go out for a dinner. You want to go grocery shopping. Well, grocery shopping, a basic shop these days that was once $75 is like $150. Mm-hmm. So now I've just blown my utilization. So what do I have to do? I have to hurry up and get home. And then I have to pay it off as soon as I get home. So I know that I can use the card for the next 6 months to a year. I got to keep using this card to show that I have
until they raise it.
I have history until they raise the limits. That is a slow, painful way of getting the credit score. The history, so I can use it more and then grow. Length of credit history. This was a mistake we made. Yeah. We didn't want to pay the annual interest rate.
Fee.
Sorry, fee. It was free and clear. Paid it off. Kept it paid it off. But we're like, well, why do we want to keep paying? Why? We didn't know. Mm-hmm. Well, the not knowing hurt us. Our overall credit history. So what happens is when they say history, they take the average of all your cards. So if you go out tomorrow and get a whole bunch of brand new cards, that history is going to come way down. Yep. And if you don't have longevity, it's not going to maintain a high average. And that's what happened to us. And then we ended up getting a couple of cards, and that brought me down. It brought him down. And then you have types of credits in use. Is it a revolving? Is it a loan? Mm-hmm. Some things work in your benefit, and some don't. And we're going to go more in deep dive in that in the community. So make sure you follow us, like us. If you have questions about this, let us know. We want to be able to go over that with you. New credit. Yep. You're going to get offers, especially when you start boosting those scores, or the opposite. You have a whole bunch of cards and you get the ones, consolidate with us. Yep. Stay away. Just say no. If you have questions, ask us. We have people that can help you. We're not going to charge you. We want to give you information. We want you to get value. We want you to have takeaways from this. What are your takeaways? And let us know in the description below. What are your takeaways on these modules that you're watching with us? So what is the difference between a FICO and a Vantage score? Can you cover that? Yeah,
the FICO score is it's created by the Fair Isaac Corporation, which is FIC. It's the oldest used credit. That's how they basically run your life, or ruin your life, as Jen would say. So it ranges from 300 all the way to 850. Okay, that's what lenders use to basically either give you credit, not give you credit, how much to give you, what rate to give you at. Now, the Vantage score was developed as a joint venture by all three major bureaus. Okay, Experian, TransUnion, Equifax. Those are the three bureaus. Okay, so the Vantage score also ranges from 300 to 850, but it was designated for a more consumer-friendly model, which provides scores for people with newer or less traditional credit history. So if you only have 2 or 3 trade lines, like Jen may have 2 or 3 trade lines, I may have 15. So that's why they developed for people that have the lower end of the trade line. So that's what the Vantage score is, to take in your favor, basically. So the big key differences. So score calculation score range, minimum scoring criteria, and late payment. So the score calculations, as well, both use the same factor to calculate the scores. The weight in each model places on those factors that it can vary. Okay, so example, the Vantage score places emphasis on the recent credit behavior and patterns over time, right? And then you've got the scoring range. They both, like I said, they between 300 to 850. That's the same in the range, but the waypoints are assigned within that range that can differ. Okay.
But we'll go more in
And
depth
we'll jump in all this too. So minimum FICO criteria, then ones that have score don't have
But
scores.
what about number 4?
So that's the big one. Late payments. Okay. Vantage score
Differentiates between the types.
2, yes, of what's late. So
is it the mortgage versus your credit card?
Mm-hmm.
One thing to know, if I had to choose, and I don't choose either, okay? I went through a lot. We went through a lot. We had a lot of issues. We worked really hard to overcome our obstacles.
To clean them up.
To clean up our credit. And the one thing that weighs more heavy than anything is that mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be late on your mortgage. Make sure that is being paid on time every month. I don't care if you're paying it the day before. Make sure it is on auto pay. Pay 2 days before.
Mm-hmm.
If your mortgage is on the 1st, ask them to put it on the 5th.
Right.
Get the dates changed on the credit cards. If you get a bi-weekly check or every 2 weeks or every Friday or every other Friday, know your schedule. Mm-hmm. Know when you get paid. Do a worksheet, and we'll be going over this as one of the mini modules of some tips and tricks that can help you understand your credit, but how to manage that credit so you can avoid the late payments, avoid the late mortgages, and be able, because this is what I used to do. I'm a big Excel person. I work in Excel. I love numbers, and one thing I did was I mapped out. And they have apps for that. Obviously, they have apps for that. But I don't want to go and put all my information in because I already had it. Well, some of these tools now can just take the information I've created and pop it in. Point is, you want to list everything that you have. Get it into that spreadsheet.
Right.
Know how much you owe. Know your account. Know your due dates. Get every statement that you have. And if I don't get those statements, everything's online. Fine, everything's online. Go get all your PDFs. If you got a printer, print them. Mm-hmm. If not, consolidate everything into one PDF. And then look at the amount due. What is your balance? What's due? The interest rate, because that's important. You're going to want to know how much you're paying. And the date that it's due.
Right.
There's going to be some cards are tricky. I've seen 2 dates. Well, what is the actual due date? I get confused. Mm-hmm. I call. If you get confused, call. What is my due date? And what I want you to do, and the purpose of this exercise, and I'm actually challenging all of you out here to do this. I want you to go to look at your credit or look at your credit card statements, mm-hmm. all of the credit card, put them in a pile, put them in, like, get a little clippy. For the whole month, gather up every bill that you have. Put a little clippy. At the end of the month, I don't care if you write it by hand, put it in a spreadsheet, but what I want you to do, I want you to put it down and look at all your due dates, okay? Look at the bulk of your resource, of where all your money's at. Is it heavy at the beginning of the month, or is it heavy in the middle of the month? What are those dates? Is everything due on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th? Or is everything due right around the middle of the month? You can go to your creditors and say, hey, Mr. Visa card, Walmart card, whatever. Hey, can I move my date? And they're going to tell you yes or no. If they say no, it may be because you owe money, or you didn't make your monthly payment yet, or whatever the reason is. But a lot of times they'll say yes. and then what you do is have your plan in advance. So we're going to go further in depth than that. This is just a quick takeaway for you. There will be a worksheet coming up. Join us for that. We want to ask us your questions. Let us know what you want to see. What do you need? How can we help you get yourself on a better plan, a better path for financial health and getting your payments made on time?
Right.
So
join us for the next series at Coffee.
Sometimes Tea.
Right.
Cheers to you.
See you then.
We hope to see you again soon.